And we are back for your final map of the second game of the EU Premier League for amateur gamers. I'm your caster, the Striker, again joined by NSO Cash, and we're looking at a good decider here.
Absolutely, this match has been huge thus far, back and forth completely. Kind of a shutdown the second map with a huge fight going on for the first map. Overall, it's a 1-1 game right now. This is the decision-making map right here for who takes the match overall. For last map, it was a little disheartening for LetFetz as they finished off 1-7 as Rayn took it. Ultimately, and in the previous map, Bank, LetFetz took it 7-3, leading us to a 1-1 score that we are seeing now. Honestly, I don't want to see a complete shutdown this map. However, if it goes that way, then that means one of the teams really cleaned up what they were doing wrong. Overall, this is a match to see.
And we'll just take a look at the bans quickly. We've got a Ying, Nomad Mirror, and a Valkyrie. Valkyrie makes a lot of sense. I think it was banned on Consulate as well. Just a lot of info you don't really want the other teams to be getting. There's a lot of outside play on border, on balconies, etc.
Absolutely. We saw Valkyrie be a huge thing in the first map of Bank, yes. And Nomad didn't do a whole lot in Consulate. However, for this map, I for sure see why you don't want it. Getting Candela, getting air jabbed, not a fun mix.
And yeah, Candela's also banned, that's Ying, and even with that, I would say Ying nerf, in my opinion. You know, people are sort of thinking about it as a nerf buff. I'm taking it as a nerf.
I see it as a nerf, 100%. I see it as a nerf.
And that's going to mean them Candelas aren't going to be able to be as effective in these army takes. We saw it in the game earlier with Silex Alpha and Nessus. The Ying was very effective in getting Silex's plants down very quickly. I think they planted within a minute 2 times because of the Yings. So a Ying's a good ban on this map, in my opinion.
Absolutely, and speaking of the Ying nerf, I mean, we can feel free to talk about it. I think it forces teams to be a little bit more in sync with their pushes because of the fact that previously they were able to just get chucked. However, all the seconds it takes for them to now go off, the fact that they roll around when they're not all the way primed, just really does force Ying operators to kind of be a little bit more adamant as to when they throw the Candela, and it's not as user-friendly as it was anymore. Now it's going to be team-based. You could absolutely screw your team over with blinding a whole entire push if you don't time it correctly, or you could be that Ying that throws them and you just forget the fact that it's going to take a second to go off, so you get gunned down, and as you die, you blind them. But, that's still a body loss and your utility off the board.
Why are the defenders so low?
It's a good question, Striker. Maybe we're gonna have to watch this VOD back. Why are they all sitting at half health? Who tossed the impact without telling anyone? Who threw the impact when it wasn't supposed to?
Back to Ying. It means players who are very aggressive with Ying chucking them in. We both know a Ying player who does that, don't we, Cash? You can say his name, then.
Me and Slash. Oh no, I'll say his name. I'll go right to there.
Yeah, them kind of players will struggle with Ying a bit more now, as he is a bit more, or she is a bit more of a team-based up now. You have to time things.
Absolutely,
So,
and if you're not droning out correctly,
because I know Ying is put in with them categories as a non-skill-based operator, and I think this change makes her a bit more skilled, in my opinion. And we'll see Bandit put the first foot onto the Ash, so that's a lot of fragging power gone.
Absolutely. Speaking of potentially unskilled operators, Ash, the most user-friendly of operators, is now off the board. However, we're still seeing 3 defending operators sitting at half health. So these one-on-one gunfights are going to be a little bit deadly. Now, Skipper did pull that one away. I don't believe he succumbed to any shots being taken. Now, overall, Rayn did establish map dominance very quickly into the round. I mean, 2 minutes, 20 seconds, they had CC, they had Armory, they had Fountain, and it's kind of the opposite of what we're used to seeing from Let's, because LetFetz usually has a good top hold here. I mean, overall, they put so much utility at the top floor of Consulate that we thought the top floor was the site, even though it wasn't.
Yeah.
So there are still 2 yokais. There's a minute left remaining in the round, and that's plant defusal along with 2 nitros. But Monty is going to be a recurring pick for Rayn here. I think it's just going to be. I think it's one of those picks that's just hard to counter overall if you don't have a Legion.
There's one counter shotgun blast to the back of the head, I imagine, or the chest. As we'll see, Joe instantly refracted as the Jaeger picked up one. Then I picked up another one onto the bandit. Not too sure where that bandit fell from, but
I don't know what happened there.
We'll see the attackers in a 2v3 situation as Somewhat gets the kill, but he's now down to get picked up immediately. 2v2 now. Echo and a Jaeger. As I don't have the fuse with second 7s there, they're gonna have to go for the diffuser. Jaeger picks up one.
Why is the yokai disorienting them?
It won't really matter as the Jaeger gets 2 kills. But yeah, why wasn't the we just really have that effect? Jaeger did pick up the double kill and probably would have anyway. As there was so little time there.
That round felt strange. I think overall is a good way to put it. The moment I talked about Monty, Gio pumped him, just full of buckshot, and Bandit, he pulled a Jesus and just dropped from somewhere. Did you see where he dropped from? Because I feel like
it looked like he dropped from heaven.
It really looked like he dropped through armory, like he just floated through the floors, down to the site.
Is there a new hatch that we didn't know about, or?
Absolutely. I mean, with the recent patch, who knows? But Thermite really kind of pulling the way through. I believe was getting 3 frags. What a beautiful kill as he was getting injured onto the defending operator. But it went from a 4v2 to a 2v2 in a very quick fashion. It just seemed to be a whole just mess and ventilation there of bodies being flurried around along with bullets being sprayed.
For sure, and that was a downstairs hold as well. So you can see that upstairs hold now, as we normally associate LetFetz, at least in this game, with a very hard upstairs hold, as you said. And there was no presence upstairs. They still managed to win it out. And I think it was because they took the gunfight they needed to. Nothing more, nothing less.
That's what I was saying. There's winning because of strats, winning because of plant defusal, and then winning because of winning gunfights. And it's very different kind of round feeling when it's a lot of gunfights being used to kind of persevere throughout the round. But here we are going to the top floor armory, and Rayn saying, LetFetz, we didn't forget you brought a blitz last round and tried to rush us. So we're gonna do the same, except it looks to be as if they're taking a little bit of a slower approach with the German operator.
So it looks a bit better.
Just slightly than the punch hole that mowed down 2 of the attacking operators. But CC break room, of course, very much so the first to be pushed into a
Legion playing there, and Legion attack some damage onto the blitz. He's gonna get hit by another Green Mine, as Legion spamming doesn't work anymore, bud, as he'll go down to the Legion. So just so fair, and Jaeger picked up one onto, I believe that's the Thatcher, and Rayn really struggling right now.
Rayn, what are you doing? It looks like the same exact thing that happened to LetFetz. Is it the curse of the blitz? Is it the fact that the flashing shield is just not going through? And an elimination on 2, I believe that was the Zofia? Okay, absolutely. So now it's a 1v5. This has the potential to be a clean sweep for LetFetz. This could be the momentum that we've been looking for them to kind of recover all the way back from bank. They didn't have it on console. He spots the head, or it would look to be a head.
He just doesn't know which angle to check. 3 peaks, 1 from shelf, 1 from the desk, and 1 from fountain.
Okay, that was a head. Alright, that scared me. That was a clean sweep.
That was a great hold.
Absolutely,
actually, I'm going to back. That was a good hold. Because Rayn really messed that up. they were so uncoordinated getting rid of that lesion in Teller and Teller's in CC. They pushed solo all the time. They peeked angles they didn't need to.
It's very much so. They shot at what they didn't know where to shoot at, but the defending team knew what picks to really go for. And that blitz, that was all ADS on a blitz. I don't think a flash went off once. So that was really, I don't know if it was kind of an opportune pick to take blitz, thinking of what damage could be done with the operator, but really not used to the fullest potential.
For sure. And we're going to see a bathroom tellers. We saw bathroom tellers on the board I played earlier. It had varied results.
I believe it's situational. The site is just overall situational.
You can't.
Absolutely.
If you give upstairs within the first 2 minutes, you have lost the round because they get so much control from at one hatch where the mute is right now that they drop and plan. And unless you're making it a kill box, which doesn't look like the defenders are doing, then you make it virtually impossible to retake.
Absolutely, you almost have to play it in a secure area fashion by making tellers a kill box. But both teams at one point have absolutely written off vertical play, the top floor of the site, as optional. LetFetz, it worked for on Bank, it didn't work for Rayn. But overall, it's a site that if they don't have it, they don't have this round.
That's a bit of a misplay from the Echo. It should actually, I think.
Echo and Fountain.
Did he mean to drop his drone down the hatch, or was that just
I think
me?
he did. I think he did.
Okay, that's my bad then. I made a dumb mistake. As he tried to get it up on top of the, in the showers, but he won't find any luck there.
Yeah, yokais are, I feel like the longer, the operator exists, the more frustrating it gets to kind of place them. Yeah. But there's not a whole, we've been obsessing about vertical play. There's not a whole lot of horizontal play. 4 bodies are upstairs. Only 1 is on site. That is the Ella. Or sorry, 3. They don't have anything stopping baggage. They don't really. I mean, if they try to thermite into bathroom from workshop, there's nothing really stopping them. There's a singular yokai.
We might not be casting NA, but NA shotgun has made an appearance.
With a laser sight and a triangle. Yes, absolutely.
And Ash will take down 1. I believe that's the sledge will take down the other. And that's 2 of the players upstairs dead.
Castle and Jaeger out of the way. Fountain and office controlsman. 3 bodies.
And this is Telesphere. Very, very inconsistent. As Geo goes down, and that's the easiest round Holy Rayn have had all day, in my opinion.
Absolutely. It was almost a clean sweep as it was previously. Overall, that site, are you focusing too much on vertical play? Do you need to recess it to horizontal play? I mean, they had all those operators in very close proximity overall, and it just did not seem to fan out for them.
For sure. And we'll see a ventilation workshop hold again, as they did win this the first time. I wouldn't say comfortably, but it was a good hold.
It was very sporadic, and it felt very because there. I mean, you can have a strat written down, a whole novel of a strat written down. Some moves need to be improvised, and that's overall what that round felt like from both teams overall. You don't expect a thermite to run into ventilation and gun 2 people and then kill a third while being injured simultaneously. It's just one of those things. Yeah, you as an IGL, as an entry, and really all members of the team have to roll the punches for. All of them have different reactions to what occurs throughout a round like that. As a support was going to more often than not want to drone it out. An entry is going to want to push, and an IGL is going to want to figure out a strat on the fly, but those rounds just do not permit to do so, especially with only 32 seconds left on the board.
Door barricaded.
Sure.
Reloaded.
Mute has been a pick time and time again. Not as much as Smoke was for the previous site, but overall, You know, the fact that a mute buff was not too long ago, or the fact that it is now just a smoke pre-nerf, having a shotgun, an SMG, and a nitro along with the jammers overall has been playing to LetFetz's advantage here, as Geo's kind of been overall just playing really well on the operator.
Quick update about our next game. It's currently being played off camera as we are running a bit behind, and the first map has gone to easy elo 7-0 on border, so they'll be starting their second map. So we may not be able to catch the game if does not go to the third map. Just keep that in the back of your minds. But we will
7-0.
see what we can do. 7-0 indeed.
That was an easy elo, gang. Well, the closest we saw was a 7-1 on the map of Consulate, but Echo is already off the board, and vertical play is going to be done by the Buck of Rayn. No one really is rotating to the grab him.
Look for another kill onto the castle, the hatch.
Absolutely. So now that is the UMP and 2 Yokais off the board for LetFetz here. So now it's 3v3. I don't think any of the defending operators are in sight.
Exactly. Oh my god!
A huge run out from Jaeger. That's 2 eliminations as the Ash and the Habana off the board. It's now equal in terms of bodies. He did not succumb a huge amount of damage. They know where the diffuser is. They're equal in bodies. A minute 30's left, so there's still a lot that can be done. He spots the Buck.
A third.
And a third kill. That's all the vertical play off the board for Rayn here. So now they have a body advantage. What huge plays from King Betix here. We have Skipper kind of watching over him. The 2 attacking operators are split in half. Thatcher Spikora is going to be rotating, watching over not to fall to the Jaeger as his previous teammates did to recover the diffuser. A minute left, still a huge amount of time to assess what you're supposed to do. Marks will be going down. He will hop in through, and Jaeger will finally go down. Now it's even in terms of bodies. A minute is left. Skipper is rotating out of customs here. It looks to be over to workshop. He almost shoots the Twitch. But still 2v2, 40 seconds left, plenty of time. No one's watching ventilation too precariously. I'm sure there's a Yokai in there acting as a camera now that Echo is actually dead. But here we have a slow take here from the Twitch that is intense. However, the diffuser is attempting to go down. A fake will go down. Geo will eliminate the Thatcher. Twitch will spot the bandit to his right. Now it is a 1v2, and they have a perfect crossfire. Geo with the shotty and Skipper with the MP7. He's peeking both sides, and Geo with the buckshot again will be a force, frankly, to be reckoned with.
Do you know what won him that round, Cash?
I think overall it was the Jaeger.
It was the Jaeger, yeah. That was some amazing individual play by the Jaeger.
I
think them 2 guys outside and then the Buck. I think the Buck was
kill
the biggest
huge. I think Buck was massive. I mean, what a small peak. What a hard one to contest as an attacker as well, unless you were to continue bucking more floors, but it just leaves you more exposed. I think the best move there was for King to kind of rotate out, but you know, with the top floor and I believe the hatch being rid of, it would have been just such a hard thing to do. And not a whole lot of information as Valkyrie is banned, so they don't have any black eyes really watching over where you can go and where you can't go. Overall, I mean, if he secured that 4th one, it was easy pickings for LetFetz right there.
That confuses me. The alibi is going to be brought instead of the Legion, and I'm not too sure about that pick.
Alibi
Rayn
in my
known for
opinion
bringing
is
shields.
so strange.
Rayn are known for bringing shields, and Legion is a direct counter to shields. It's how they won. It's how they killed the Blitz last time on attack, because they played the Legion in CC.
Overall, it's kind of playing to a different style as to what we previously saw.
For sure. And there is no shield on the board this time, so it's not going to be the end of the world with a major threat of a Blitz ring at your face. But it's still, I think Legion's an overall better operator than Alibi in my opinion. And that's why I bought the Alibi.
I don't know if I would call this a strat or I would call
Just-
this.
I want to do it because why not? YOLO.
Confuse him a little bit, get thrown
Yeah.
off.
But looks like an armory taking that. We're going to open up pretty quickly. I don't believe a bandit is bandit tricking it at this time.
We have not seen a huge amount of bandit tricking at all from either teams throughout the round. Twitch will be placing a claymore on the ventilation window.
We haven't really seen
look-
bandit tricking at all in any of the maps.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just been flat out mutes, placing down the jammers, and bandits placing down the batteries. Not a whole lot of really trying to put the force behind them and trick with them. But I mean, to each their own with how you feel. But Skipper is right there, and having
Is-
Alibi watching over a half wall. Jaeger is down.
This is a 5-man anchor right now.
This is, you are absolutely correct. Here we have Thatcher shooting through small office, seeing if you can get any picks at save beepers. I don't think the bandit is bandit tricking. I think the thermite charges are going right. Oh, no, never mind. I say that as he's going back and forth. Jaeger will be picked up, still sitting at the minuscule amount of health the recoveries permit you to do so. But it looks to be a little bit of a Rainbow Six standoff we have going on here.
Bandit gets thermite charges.
I believe he got
I mean,
one of them.
Alibi goes down. He's now dead as the sledge gets him. So Sledge has just got 2. For Joe refrags that, and the Maestro refrags that onto the Sledge. So 3v3 right now. All got opened up. Thatcher picks up 1 onto that Maestro who peaked aggressively. Plant going down. As the somewhat sticking that. And actually get off. Wary of a C4 from the mute from below. But that won't happen. As actually it will, but very, very late. Jaeger coming beepers. Won't get that kill. So looks like mute in the 1v3 right now. And he's just gonna miss. He's just gonna miss. He's just to the right of the diffuser, and they're gonna know where he is. They're gonna know where he's rotating from. IQ watching that. Ash, I say, my bad. And
Inaccurate information.
Holy Rayn there. For sure. Stepping it up a notch as we move on to the last defense, and it's currently 3-2 to LetFetz. And this is more of a bank game.
Absolutely.
This is more of what we saw on bank, and I like it.
I don't know if you saw, it was a very smart move done by Slack, the Ash of Rayn there. They assessed the fact that Skipper was bandit tricking. The Ash actually jumped off the balcony and Ash charged beneath, totally distracting and disorienting I believe it was the Alibi and the bandit, thus ultimately in them getting eliminated, and Maestro having to hold the angle from the end of Sandwich and Curve. Now that was a little bit of an overzealous peak from the Maestro there overall, because of the fact that I don't know if there were no evil eyes placed or if a Thatcher had gotten rid of them, something of that sort, but it seemed to be as if the Maestro wanted to stick to his gun and not his utility.
For sure. And moving to the last defense for LetFetz, it's going to go back upstairs to the armory. As that might actually give them a better chance of winning this round, as they don't have to rotate down to bathroom or the customs. They can stay up here and close this round out 4-2 on the half. And move into the
Facing my evil eye.
attacks. With a good lead, I would say.
We really haven't seen anyone play that spot in the top of Archives there on Shelf. It's very much so an opportunistic spot for anchors, that kind of cut off the rotations from 90, watching over the big door of Office. You've seen Rayn continually take CC as aggressively and as quickly as they did. Do you think that'd be a spot that is frequently a little bit more used?
For sure. And we're going to see Legion brought in instead of the Alibi this time. And
So Legion will be by himself. There are 2 drones, one in CC, one in break room, already droning him out. Skipper's watching Sandwich. He does have King Ventix with the barricade open from Armory, watching over his shoulder, just in the event that the Zofia kind of gets a little greedy and pushes. But it looks to be as if the drones are going out, but nothing's happening because of the drones. They're not droning in anyone, they're just droning him. And that could be, you know, a bit of a mistake, as no one's pushing, say, east stairs and trying to shoot him through,
he dropped
through the wall.
He dropped it to customs.
Okay, absolutely. Well, that is huge because of the fact that he shot all the drones. They don't know if it's safe or not to go in. They're relying on head checks right now, and it's really dangerous to do with a thermite specifically, especially one at that time saw had the diffuser. So if the utility got used on nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I think that was 1 or 2 flashbangs that just went out to the corner of CC to know to be fruitless.
I think it was concussion mines from Sophia, which is even worse in hindsight, because they do a lot more than flashbangs in my opinion.
Absolutely. Thank you for picking up on that. And here we see Maestro eliminating, that's thermite off the board. That's all the hard breaching capability Rayn has right now. Here we see Slack did spot the bandit. Pre-firing will go down. 2 eliminations will go down. So that's Sophia and Jaeger off the board. Still a 1-man body advantage for Slack. The Diffuser attempting to go down. Fake. Or they're trying to. I think they're trying to bait out this Evil Eye. But Maestro will wide peek, secure an elimination, as will Legion. So now it's a 4v1 for the Sledge of Rayn. Shots will be exchanged, and Maestro will close out the round. And finishing off the defending phase, LetFetz is sitting, I think, at a 4-2 2-point advantage.
Yep. For sure. And that was a great defense. They cleaned up what they did wrong last round. They didn't play that alibi who got aggressive. They played someone a bit more utility on site. That bandit didn't bandit trick. He put his bandit down and played a bit more safe.
I would have credited that whole, I'm not going to say that whole round, but most of it to that Legion. The Legion shot all the drones, didn't peek aggressively. I don't think he suffered an HP of damage. Sophia shot a concussion grenade at him, and he dropped. They didn't know he dropped. They're wasting utility and time on an operator that is simply not there. Sledge, I mean, was laying into the wall in break room trying to wall bang him by the half wall, and it wasn't landing any shots because of the fact there's no one there. They don't know anyone's not there. They're head checking, and it's dangerous to do. It ultimately cost, I believe it was Thermite his life because of the fact that they couldn't continue to drone outside, and Maestro got the first pick. So it was a lot of time wasted. It was down to like a minute 40, and the operator's not even there. You ever shoot at the ghost of, you know, Christmas past? It was exactly that with Legion.
Yeah, for sure. And we see the scoreboard here. We see Capital King top flagging across the map right now. But actually the castle of IJPM on 0 and 4. He is playing these castle ups who aren't on attack, should I say. He's playing support, I believe. But still, you need to pick up a bit of this weight, which everyone else is picking up for you, if you want to really push through here.
I think they heard you complain about the fact that they kept bringing Buck and they didn't bring Capitao because of the fact that there's this switch, and now that they have their entry on Capitao, I do wonder whether or not he's going to be bringing the LMG, which, I mean, just suppresses.
I think it's going to be actually a Vents take, which is interesting. Both teams opting for the Vents hold first, which is very interesting in my opinion. That Monty going to be a bit less useful, as it's a bit harder to do a multi-plant in B, let's say. I think it's mainly going to be used for the pushing power. As we'll see, everyone has top floor control. There is 2 players playing top floor at least.
It's a very, very quick map establishment with the dominance of the area. They have all of East Hall taken off. They're pushing into office. They took a play out of Rayn's book and brought a Monty. And the first elimination will be the castle off the board. That's IJ now off the board. Second one will be followed up. That is Sophia Skipper taking Bandit they now have a 2-man advantage. Capitao is lit for what looks to be the same amount that he would be reset for, but here we have Thermite watching. There's a refrag. That is now,
down.
and that is a lot of utility off the board.
That
Thermite will
was a
spot the
weird
Jaeger.
fight.
There's seemed to be a little bit of start shots going back and forth there. Slack will win out that gunfight, ultimately sitting at half health. It's the Jaeger rotating over to security. Now it's even in terms of bodies. Now there is a minute 20 left, and he will be refragged by the Monty of all roam clearing operators. There is still a Legion and a Pulse. I believe that Pulse. Did the Pulse use his Nitro? Was that the Nitro that eliminated Capitao? Okay.
I believe so.
Absolutely. I mean, it was huge utility-wise taking Capitao off the board. However, HP-wise, he was not sitting at too high of a level. So any one-on-one gunfight most likely would have resulted in him being eliminated. But it's now a one-body advantage with 40 seconds left in the way of LetFetz. It hasn't seemed like a huge progression onto site. Monty's kind of playing alone with the diffuser, and he's rotating over to ventilation. Pre-fire will be coming out from baggage. The pistol will be brought out. Pulse isn't even on site. I mean, I'm hoping he's, or sorry, not. That was Legion. Or the rotate was made. Sophia will eliminate him. Now it's a 3v1. It's all up to the Legion. And Skipper, the third elimination for that round. That was his third frag. Really kind of noticing the fact that they're split. They're watching two different areas. Guns them both down in main hall.
Can we just point out here that Holy Rayn are meant to be one of the best teams in EU right now. Getting picked up by Rayn is no small matter. And no offense to LetFetz here, but they're not as big as a name at all as Holy Rayn. So for them to be winning 5-2 on border on a third map is credit to them. It's real credit for them. I mean, I had Holy Rayn as taking this group easily.
Absolutely, it's not a name that you drop lightly.
It's not, and I might have to rethink that now, because this performance. I mean, their consulate was amazing. The way they played consulate was so good, but Bank and Border currently, they just haven't been the same team. I don't know what's wrong with them. Like, we saw some flashes of brilliance last map. And their strats and everything. Their strats today, or these strats we're seeing, they're not the interesting strats we're used to seeing. They're not anything out of the ordinary. They're very generic. I don't feel like Holy Rayn do generic well, or as good as they do interesting, if you understand.
No, absolutely, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's not the Rayn that we've been seeing. It's not the Rayn that 7-1 LetFetz on Bank, essentially. It is not the same, strats, not the same, kind of mentality, and it's their shortcoming. It's now a 5-2. They are now losing momentum as LetFetz is kind of gaining it. It looks to be exactly as what we saw. Or yeah, sorry, you said consulate. It's looking to be the Bank match that we saw previously, except now it's even more an advantage in LetFetz. I believe that they kind of refreshed themselves from the 7-1 loss, and here we have
Father King quickly. I can report our second game. I don't believe we'll be going ahead, as Easy Elo have just beaten their opponents 2-0 with a 7-0 one map and a 7-1 the other map. So
you hate to see it.
Did you hate to see it?
Hear about it.
Happens. I don't think our last game tonight will happen. I will wait on confirmation from the admins, see if we're going to get another match in, if one's scheduled. But you will find out very soon.
Absolutely. Speaking of matches, this one is now sitting at 2 minutes, and a huge map dominance has been established. Skipper eliminating Jaeger off the board. That's huge. Here we see Slack as Pulse kind of hopping out of his office, seeing if he can get an easy pick onto East Stairwell. But they have a whole lot of map dominance. I mean, security, CC, break room. They overall, the Monty has been just clearing the way for LetFetz. but a rotate back into sight intense will take out the Capitao. King's Capitao, it seems to be is getting used, but not really overall utilized. But 2 eliminations will go down. That is the Jaeger and Bandit, and now the Vigil off the board. It's all up to Slack as the Pulse and Nitro will get tossed out. He's being watched by the Monty. Accidentally pulls out the heartbeat sensor, backs off. He pulls out, or he does the Nitro. That does eliminate, I believe, the Thermite off the board. It's now a 3v1 with still a minute left, but Skipper securing his 2nd elimination and yet another closing out frag.
And
we are now match point.
LetFetz on match point, yeah, and this has been a good game. We can't this has been a great game from both teams. Entertainment value up there, but I feel like Holy Rayn have lacked something. And I would just like to point out they did appoint a new coach not too long before this game, so looking on into the season, that might help them quite a lot. But where they're stood now, it isn't the Holy Rayn that many people maybe are accustomed to, or we still on the country look.
Absolutely. I think overall, if it's a loss, if it's a win, both these teams can walk away from this match and from the 3 maps that were played and learn. It's overall an opportunity to see where you need to improve, see where you did well, and take advantage of this overall. Because simply because of the fact that a map was lost for both teams. There's always something you can learn from that kind of situation. And the fact that it's now match point against you, and you're one of the most known teams in this series.
For sure.
But Frost will be making their first appearance, and we talked about no skill operators earlier, and man, nothing gets me more mad than when I land in one of those mats. My blood pressure hits a whole nother level, and seeing it in comp, it can do the same exact thing, very much so. The Vigil has been making a little bit of play, however, it just really hasn't been wasting the time Rayn needs it to. It seems as if the Pulse Slack has been really doing a lot of work roam-wise.
And we can't really get a good view. There we go. Do you know the thing? We can't really get a good view. You get a view eventually, and it's gonna be a event hold. And is this the first attack onto Vent? No, it's not. This is the second attack onto Vent for LetFetz, as they did win their first one very convincingly. As Frost runs out and gets a kill onto Sophia, and that's some good aggression.
Huge. That's Skipper off the board for LetFetz. Now Frost is sitting at a quarter health. Frost is in my opinion, is one of those operators that's very expendable. But now that's Thermite off the board. The only hard-breaching capabilities for LetFetz. Now it's a 3v5 in the way of Rayn. Now, there are 2 defending operators very tagged up.
We're seeing Legion pick up 1 as Frosters go down to the buck. But we're seeing Rayn get very aggressive right now. And I think that shows how much they want to stay in this. They're getting hyper NA styles and aggressive right now. Obviously, Thatch pick up 1. He doesn't. A nade picks up 1. Frost drops outside. He's going to go to the windows. But a great C4 by that Pulse then. I'm trying to gather my words to still got the Frost rotating. Pulse whips out a C4 from his pocket and kills the last 2. And that's the Rayn I want to see a bit more.
Absolutely. They have realized that maybe we need to bump it up a notch, and aggression is one of those things that can bite your team in the back, or it can really play to winning the points. Overall, that was one where a lot of aggression was put down, and the support players were there to overall support. IJ closed that round with a Nitro Cell, securing the final 2 attacking operators. And I think that's just overall, if you're going to have people that are aggressive, if you're going to play aggressive, you should at least have people back you up like they did.
For sure, and we're going to see an Armory Archives hold here, and it was hinted at a bathroom hold, but they did swiftly change off that. So that might be something to look out for in the future if they win this, a bathroom teller's hold. But we're going to get to Armory right now, and I imagine they'll bring the same aggressiveness as they did last round into this round.
Absolutely. I don't know if they're going to continue this play style or if they're going to, shy away from it now that they have another point on the board, kind of recess as to the style that they want. But overall, the sheer aggression seems to work. However, it's one of those that can really turn around very quickly. You have two operators run out, and that can just be too easy frags for the attacking team early on into the round. Spawn peeking can absolutely be countered by a solid pre-fire, and so it's very much so. It's a reason why there's a thing referred to as high risk, high reward.
For sure. I'm actually a bulletproof cam go outside now. I don't know what to make of that because bulletproof cams are very easy to get rid of. Especially the ones you get as sort of a secondary utility. You can shoot it from the side, you can twitch drone them, you can melee them. They're not really bulletproof. So that bulletproof cam is not going to really serve a long time if I get rid of it. But
absolutely, it's going to be there to gain at least some knowledge, but very much so easy to discard. The fact that a simple melee. However, if someone's watching the pixel from bomb site or from the actual bomb itself, it may be just an easy elimination while they're distracted. But
so we'll see a Monty pushing in here against the. I think that's the Legion and the Doc in CC. As Monty gets very tagged up, not too sure where from though. As still might pick the kill onto the Bandit.
Bandit, that's huge. That prevents any bandit tricking from occurring. They still have Thatcher on the board to EMP those remaining batteries. But
Monty's going to go down here because he's got a Legion in his front. He's got to take it out.
So he's dwindling on health.
Capital's going to go. That's a great shot. And Capital there really should not be proning to pick that. If you're that slow when doing so. See, Jaeger go through. Jaeger been playing break or going through run out? I think playing break. I got like 3 people playing in break right now. And CC. And the Vigil on site. And see Jaeger pick up one onto the Monty. And Legion pick up one onto the Thatcher. And that's all to the semi anti-fear. And Rayn are coming back.
Absolutely. There's still 2 operators alive. However, both are Zofia sitting what seems to be 2-3 health, peeking over at Sandwich on bus, but still 4 defenders alive for Rayn. Now there is 40 seconds left of the round overall. They do have possession of the diffuser, so they're not in the worst of positions. However, with them being split the way it is, Legion is living throughout this round, unlike we've seen in previous rounds where the Legion for Rayn was dropped early on. Speaking of which, Skipper will be taken out. And now it is all up to the Thermite of LetFetz, but picked up by Legion.
And that was again a great hold of CC there from Rayn. But this round now will be do or die for Rayn, as they have to go to their offsite. And this is where LetFetz can clinch it. They can get the win, but they have to do this right. They know that the defenders have to go for an offsite.
Absolutely. So bathroom tellers did not work for LetFetz. How we may see a different result here with Rayn. Maybe they have one of the intricate strats that we're used to seeing previously on other maps and other sites. But overall, this may be the site to make or break it, because if you win this site, Rayn has momentum. You know absolutely that they are picking it back up, and they're
they've also
not
got
giving
their
up easy.
events workshop hold, which is strong. It was their primary site for a reason. They went there first for a reason. So, and it was the first site they won, I believe. So, they're going to look to claw this back now. And
Monty still being a...
Yeah, Monty being picked. It's just good pushing power.
Absolutely, you make him nervous, you get him cornered.
Yeah. Just a quick update on the live stream. This will be our last match of the evening. So, for anyone hoping to watch the easy ELO game, that will not be on this broadcast as it was played off stream due to scheduling issues. So, this will be the last match from me and Cash. So, enjoy this while you last. While we last, should I say. But for now, we still have a couple more rounds hopefully to cast. So we'll see how they choose to attack this.
Here we have Pulse. It's trying to spawn peek. It looks at the main door. Shots will be exchanged. I don't know if the Hibana is exactly aware. He will smartly rotate out. I feel as if that was just not an opportune space for him there. The scanner has been very much so a utility used in this map thus far. We didn't see it too much in previous rounds.
Pulse is itching to run out right now. He's going to go for it.
Absolutely. I mean,
as Hibana comes off the drone as well. As Geo picks up one. Hibana's going to go down to the pool. Hibana didn't hear the window break. That's skipper down. That's also Jaeger off the board. So I think that trade went in the favour of the defenders. For sure, as that high breach now is off the board. They still have
absolutely, they
thermite.
still have thermite. However, for this site, once that wall is open, you really need to see as to what plant defusal you have. Intense will be dropping the buck. Now that's the vertical play for LetFetz off the board. Now it's a 3v4 in the way of Rayn. Intense seems to be playing the stairwells really well as he was previously on yellow and consulate, kind of just sticking to his gun. Now the Monty will be pushing through what looks to be armoring or archives, and they have what seems to be vertical advantage, but they're just not really taking the full potential of it. Speaking of which,
any self-destruction.
I don't think so either. I don't think they have recharges, but that is Pulse off the board. Now it's a 3v3. Thatcher looks to be sitting at 1 HP. They still have...
Pulse was the thing they were relying on for that information, on that kill on the stairs, that run out. He didn't actually go he opened the window ready for the Hibana. That's what got them 2 kills. So that putting off the board could be big.
Absolutely, and now we do see a little bit of space between defending operators here. Speaking of which, IJ will be taking the thermite off of LetFetz's lineup. So now it's a 2v3 with, again, Thatcher on such low HP and a Monty. They seem to be kind of closing in on the last known spots of the attacking operators. Speaking of which, they are completely split, as Monty's upstairs and Thatcher is now sitting with the fuser all the way in the bottom, all the way in workshop. And an excellent refrag from IJ there, and that's the fuser down. There's 20 seconds left. It is a 2v1 in the way of Rayn. Legion and Bandit are both in tellers. They heard the Monty move. 15 seconds left. It's a Monty. Only so much can be done, and Intense will clean it up. So I believe right now we're sitting at 6-5 in the way of LetFetz.
And LetFetz are going to have to attack onto the events workshop. This will be the final time of regulation, final round of regular time. And if Rayn win this, then it'll be our first OT of this game. If Betts win this, they will take the series and get 3 points. So this is a big round for both teams.
Absolutely, and we see a pulse from IJ coming back in, very much so an opportunistic operator, but we see King on Blitz. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to 6-pick that one out.
Can we just? They didn't 6-pick this. We'll wait and see if they 6-pick. They are going to 6-pick it. But last time the Fets brought the Blitz, it didn't end well for them. So good choice picking, coming off that Blitz onto
and going to an alibi.
Yeah, that alibi pick Again, like when he changed it from, or when LetFetz changed a Legion for an alibi, I'm not too sure on the pick. She's a strange operator where she fits into this meta right now.
Absolutely, it depends as to how the team behaves and how they hold, but overall the utility for Alibi, in my opinion, just does not hold up. You know, the Prismas overall are just a distraction for a split second, and after that, they're just not what I believe developers initially thought it would be. It is meta changing in some way, shape, or form, but you see a Prisma being tossed at ventilation window, and then some impacts are going to go underneath that half wall.
I'm not too sure that's an impact. Alibi has Bailiff.
Yes, yeah, I don't understand as to why the shot is not being used unless Slack is really keen on that sidearm and knows, you know, how to use it effectively. But it looks to be as if he'll be staying downstairs with Intense and the Jaeger staying upstairs, kind of split down the middle, one in CC break room and the other in office. You know, probably going to be there to rotate for if they need each other. But speaking of which, the first kill will be from the Jaeger at Sakura, and that is Thermite, and then Intense on the other side of the hall. That's Sledge off the board.
Vigil picks up Skipper as well.
And now that's Sophia.
Jaeger picks up whoever was left. It's just it's a Monty to the 1v5. And Rayn are taking this to overtime. We see the Mighty pick up one, Mighty pick up two actually. And still on a very decent amount of health. However, he has a lot of work.
Will it be enough? Will it be enough? There's still 2 minutes remaining in the round. He's rotating over to what looks to be an armory. With all this utility, it doesn't seem to really, you know, be used. There's so much ADSs, Prisma.
He clutches it. I think we can say that it'll be the best clutch of the season so far. NA and EU, as he looks to pick. They're both in sight right now. He'll push into sight. They're actually going for the flank. They're both down in sight.
Now it's a 2v1 with a Legion and Paul still on the board. He will be reloading his gun. He has taken a lot of shots. He is sitting at half HP against 2 full HP'd defenders. He
and the
tries
C4
to go.
doesn't.
Ooh, what an excellent attempt from Monty. If he was able to clutch it out, that should have gone down in Rainbow Six history. Not only on PS4, not only like in the realm of competition. I mean, just in terms of the game itself. But now we're seeing it overtime, and I believe, yeah. So Rayn is still going to be on defending team. I think it switches between every round. Is this unlimited overtime?
No, it is not.
So we're up to 8.
Maximum of 3 rounds. Yes, 3 rounds.
3 rounds. Played. Okay, absolutely. Well then, are we going to see a cleanup from, I don't know what's going on with LetFetz. I don't know if it's overly aggressive, if they're not droning out appropriately, if the angle play that Rayn is pulling out again, as they did from main stairs on Bank, really their true counter.
Left of your screen on the attacking composition. There's a blitz there. Now,
indeed, it's not being six.
As I said last round, do you remember what happened on Contra?
Yeah, the punch hole of victory.
You also remember how it turned out for Rayn when they brought it on their armor take. He got shut down very quickly.
The curse of the blitz may.
Yeah, this might punish them. Or wait and see. He might ace clutch for all we know. I mean, he had a damn good go last time. It was the Monty. He might team kill 4 his teammates and go for the blitz ace instead. You never know. But no,
maybe third time's a charm with the operator being present, and he'll just clean sweep the defending operators. You know, depending on whether or not they're roaming or
anchoring. There's no echo to mow them down from a punch hole, so that's a good start. Because there's still 5 operators with guns who can mow them down, and they're gonna go for a run out. And that's not a good start, is it? Diffuser down, Thermite down.
What a phenomenal shot. That's the fuser,
and,
yeah.
You see Thermite's body face plant the concrete.
You think they would watch out for that one, but
And
what an opportunistic.
yeah, that's how
Push there.
I'm kind of feeling after seeing LetFetz go away. Really, a 6-2 lead, and Jaeger's gonna pick up another. Manchester's gonna look to push, and Blitz goes down. So the curse is not lifted just yet, as a 5v2 in favour of Holy Rayn.
Third time's not the charm as the Thatcher and the Kappa Tower still on the board, both 100 HP. They have recovered a diffuser, however, it's a 2v5. Geo is repelled up onto Armory Wall here, watching the rotation between sides and side itself. However, a hop out will occur, an immediate refrag will go down. So now that is the Vigil off the board. Intense Deletion is still outside. Capitao still sitting at 100 HP with the diffuser in his hands. That was Thatcher. That was previously lost. Shots will be exchanged. None will connect. Or they will connect. Sorry, that is Capitao now sitting at what looks to be 10 health, if that. Intense is going to be rotating back inside. There's still a minute 30 left to play with.
One in this round.
Absolutely, what an excellent analysis. So King will be rotating, I mean, all the way across the map. I cannot blame him. I mean, when the OBJ has such a hot presence of defenders, you really don't want.
We were hoping Holy Rayn would bring back the Holy Rayn of Contra.
Yeah.
They arrived, and they go into match point, series point on border. It's taken them a while.
5 rounds in a row, isn't it? No,
It's more than that. Yeah, it's 5 rounds in a row, yeah. I believe 2 to 6. Yeah, 5 rounds in a row. They'll have to get the 6th. Right now, it's only a 6th in a row. Well, I'll have
I'm
to wait
afraid
till
our
next
share play is
season.
going to stop before we get to see it, but
3 minutes. I'll be able to see next round.
3 minutes. Maybe they'll bring a blitz. Oh, wow, that was the quickest reset I've seen of share play ever. that was fast. Yeah, 7-6 series point, match point in the way of Holy Rayn. Now we're seeing a little bit of a standard lineup from Rayn that we previously have. Same thing with LetFetz. So they're going to Ventilation Workshop. This has been the make or break site overall. Are we going to see a heavy vertical play here from LetFetz, as we have seen on previous sites and previous maps? Or are they going to let it fall down to how that very first round went, and it was just gunfights and ventilation? We do see the fact that there is a sledge and a buck and an ash.
I would like to say on the stream, the support badge for me for today has to go to the Geo. I think he's been playing these Mute and Thatcher roles so well with the shotgun.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more.
I feel like he has to get the support badge at this point, because that'll be up to all the casters together and all the admins, but that's where my vote is going. But we'll see where
Clutch plays could go to King, I mean, solely for that Jaeger hop out that we witnessed earlier. I mean, there are just so many highlights throughout this match.
this
It's
game has been
absurd.
one of the better ones of NA and EU season so far.
Monty bringing a 1v5 to a 1v2. I mean, it's just you couldn't even like guess that everything occurring is what it looks like. You can never just go, I think this is gonna happen. Speaking of which, that's a Jaeger off the board, and that's a 4v5 early man advantage, 2 minutes 20 seconds left. However, a refrag will occur. That's the Ash off the board. Intense, the Thatcher will be shooting over into Customs, trying to hit any shots through concrete. It seems to be as if he landed some, as Echo and Bayonet are sitting at 3/4 health. Still 2 minutes remaining. It's now it's a 4v4 They still have the Echo and the Yokais on the board in case they want to try to get that early plant off. Intensely creeping up what seems to be onto main lobby here. He's watching rotates, however, this leads me to think that they don't have a whole lot of drones watching over East Stairs because of the fact that he's head checking it and watching where operators weren't originally. This is what got Rayn to lose or at least a whole lot of time. IJ not being able to replicate the punch hole of victory that we saw on Consulate, but not a whole lot of droning is what we're seeing. He's shooting, and he will land.
He will.
That's the elimination off the board, and now Castle is down. Now it's a 2v4 in the way of Rayn. Now Rayn has all the utility.
Has to clutch this out now. It's Joe it's just Joe now as HR goes down. Gio goes down, and Holy Rayn make one hell of a game there.
That was how many rounds in a row? They brought it from 2 to 8. That's six rounds. That's a whole half. That is a whole half they brought.
That's two times now they've won 6 in a row.
Truly a match to be rewatched and to be dissected for teams that really want to learn and see as to.
Anyway, that's us done for today, Cash. Thank you for joining me, as ever.
It's been a pleasure. I thank you for having me, and well, just a huge shout out for AG for allowing me onto the team and for having this great of matchups.
Yep, and we will see you next week with EU, and we'll have NA next week as well because they played a bit earlier today because of their monthlies in Go Forward. But we'll be straight back with NA next week. So thank you all very much for watching.
Absolutely, everyone. Have a good day.